Any questions on live, you make your voice be known, unless it's a stupid question. Because yes, there is such a thing as a stupid question, regardless of what people tell you. Anyway, target mobility this morning. More specifically, I would say it's foot. Okay, it's foot orientated, but more going down the lines of your old plantar fasciitis. Pain at the bottom of the foot, that's the term we're using. Any pain you're getting at the bottom of the foot, it's a prevention's better than cure, okay? So we're not just doing this because you've got plantar fasciitis or you think you have. We're doing it to help prevent it, but ultimately, this is us looking after our feet. Our feet are so important, okay? They get forgotten about. We do all the big muscle groups, we do everything else, but we forget about the one thing that's responsible for moving us from A to B and doing all the things we enjoy, unless of course you enjoy walking about everywhere on your hands. So it's it's a very much case of, it's very simple what we're trying to do this morning, and as always, the more pain and discomfort you can inflict upon yourself, the more you're probably going to get out of this one, okay? So we've done it before in the previous classes, this one. With your feet, now I'm not taking my socks off because there's really no need for me to be showing my scabby feet to the world. Not that my feet are scabby, but yep, they're still feet at the end of the day and they give me the bulk. If you've got your socks off at the bottom, you know, you might be a foot person, but you know, anyway, probably why you might be watching this actually. So anyway, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction. So the bottom of your foot should feel nice and supple, okay? So just like anything, it shouldn't feel all horrible, knotted up mess. It should feel nice and soft and supple. Okay, so straight away, alarm bell number one. If that's feeling pretty hard and horrible, you need to address that issue. Also, the skin on the sole of your foot around the plantar fascia area, it should be nice and gliding, okay? So it should be gliding across, no bother. That skin should not be tacked down to the tissue. Are you with me here? Yep, so we should be able to, again, it's probably better you take your socks off, but as you move around that skin should move freely and glide freely. So if it isn't, again, another issue. But more than anything, prevention is better than cure. For those who are out pounding the pavements, doing a lot of running and stuff like that, or just in general, okay, this is about just giving your foot a bit of an overhaul. We're also going to throw the toes in there as well, but these movements are specifically more around the whole plantar fasciitis, okay? Now, I am not a physiotherapist. It is not a case of this is going to fix it. There's many causes to plantar fasciitis, okay? This one is designed to just get all the tissue and try to make it a bit more supple, which is either going to make things a little bit easier for you, as in take the pain away a wee bit, but it might not directly address the issue. So if it is sore and it's constantly sore, do something about it, eh? Probably a good idea rather than to keep fighting through it, rant over. Right, okay, so all we're going to do, beginners, you can do this seated. No one's a beginner. Suck it up, stand up and get more weight onto this ball. All I want you to do is look at the bottom of the foot, okay? The plantar fascia area is that area between the heel and the ball of the foot, okay? So feel all that kind of soft. Well, it should be soft. If it's not, then that's the job of today. We're going basically from here with the ball up to here, okay? But it's not just a case of people get the ball, and again, you don't need to see my head. You can see what I'm doing. People get the ball and just randomly go, oh, that feels good. Aye, nice, okay? That's all it's doing. It's feeling good. You're not really achieving much by that. So just like the principles of foam rolling, I'm going to start right back at the back of the heel, okay? So you with me here? Stand on it. So I'm standing up, and this isn't a spectating gallery. Let's get going live, people. You are just standing there watching me, sitting there watching me even, which is even worse. So straight away, I'm standing on it. I'm trying to get as much weight as I can. Now we must keep that foot relaxed. I want you to imagine that foot is collapsing around the ball, okay? And now all I want you to do, it should take you a full minute minimum to go from front to back. Now let me explain. I'm going to go side to side. So imagine the bottom of the sole of your foot's a guitar, okay? And you're using the ball to basically just strum along the bottom of the foot, side to side. As soon as you find a right tack down, horrible bit of pain, what do? Remember, back to the previous mobility classes, we're going to hold it, okay? So straight away I've found a spot that's horrible, it's nasty. So I'm going to start the pressure wave. I'm going to try putting as much weight on there as I can, okay? So we're not on just looking at people on live, we're not on the actual heel, we're not on the bone, we're on the fascia, we're on the tissue. So come just forward of the bone and you'll feel that nice soft, I can't even speak, you'll find that nice soft area of tissue. That's what we're after here. So I'm holding a spot and it's pretty nasty. So now all I'm trying to do is get as much weight on it as I can. And this is horrible, okay? Now what I can add in, remember, think about the techniques I've been teaching you on this, the contract and relax. So I can contract the bottom of my foot and I can relax it, okay? Now I'm being honest, I'm starting to break a sweat already because this is very uncomfortable. So all I want you to do is go side to side along the surface of that foot and working your way towards the ball of the foot. So we're working from just forward of the heel to the ball of the foot along that soft tissue area. Right onto the outside of the foot, right to the inside of the foot. Okay, and like I say, along the way, if you find any horrible little sore spots, then you get stuck into it, okay? The same way we do anything. Now please make the most of this. We're not doing this twice. We're on this foot once and once only, and we're going to spend a couple of minutes on it max. So if you're just fanning about, excuse the language, of just kind of going, ooh, and not really doing much, you're completely wasting your time and you're wasting my time, okay? Sounds firm, but I'm just being brutally honest. If you want to get something out of this, you have to be putting a hell of a lot of weight down on this and sucking it up and making it as uncomfortable as you can bear, okay? So you can see the process that I'm going through. I've got as much weight down on that as I can, and I'm going across the sides of my feet, sorry, the underside of my foot side to side. And this is where everybody's different. If you live a pretty low activity life, chances are there's not probably a lot of pain here. If you do a lot of running, if you do a lot of, more specifically, barefoot running, then you'll probably find a good bit of tightness in this area and a lot of horrible pain, okay? So please take your time, get the most from it, and that's me only just finding myself at the front of my foot now, okay? So I'm still seeing people just aimlessly rolling about backward and forward here. Get on it, get pushing down, work your way from front to back in a process, okay? Along the way, if you find any pain, you stop, you address it. What do I do? Rather than wince and ease off, get on it, try to relax and try to get as much weight down on this as you can. Now, if you have got problems, or if you do indeed have plantar fasciitis, this is going to be hellish in some places, okay? I don't, but this is still hellish in some places, okay? And that's specific to each person. So remember the technique. I keep going over them. Rather than just aimlessly roll, get as much weight down on there as you possibly can handle, okay? But you must stay relaxed. Then the next stage, while we're holding this pressure spot, if you've found one, is contract, relax, contract and relax the muscle, okay? So squeeze the muscle, tense it, relax into the ball. Good. Right, everyone, we're going to change feet, okay? Now, before we do that, please pay attention, because I'm still seeing a few people on live just doing this. That feels nice. It might feel like you're getting a wee bit of work in there, but remember what I keep saying to you. I'm going to come back down so you can see my ugly face again. Okay, you need to find, when you're finding that pressure spot or any pain, you're holding on that pain and you're not moving until you feel an improvement in that. You might not cure the pain, but you should feel an improvement on that area before you move on to the next. So depending how bad things are, you might not even get the full length of the foot. I'm stood on this ball, I'm working from here, as much weight down as I can, going across. Then I'm up a wee bit and then across, okay? So you can see the process. I'm just going across side to side, all the way working from the heel to the ball of the foot, okay? Along the way, if I find any sore spots, hold it, get on it, and get as much weight down on it as you can. Talk to me. You've just got a foot fetish, Kylie. That's all that is. That's why you're. That's why you do. I'm alright. My feet aren't scabby anyway. Right? Okay. I've had my nails done. I'm only joking. If I knew this, I would have had them painted nice and red. Right? Okay. So I'm going on to the other foot now. Okay. Now, bear in mind, I'm 6'5", so of course my toes are going to look like fingers. So I don't need any comments. Okay. Right? Okay. Oh, you can talk, Leslie. You can pick your nose with yours. Right, anyway, back to business. So I'm starting, okay, I'll show you here. I'm starting, again, I'm not on the bone, okay? We're not trying to foam roll the bone, there's no point. So I'm starting just forward of the heel, where that tissue starts, where that soft area starts, and for me, straight away, hellish, okay? That's me personally. I need to do more work on this, and that's why I'm doing it. So I'm going side to side. Now, again, you are trying to put down as much weight as you're strumming this ball side to side, okay? And when I say strumming, you'll probably feel it because you'll feel all the little tendons click, click, click as you're going. It's the best word to describe what I'm doing here. So straight away, right, I've found a pressure spot, as in pain. So what am I doing? I'm now going to start trying to get right up on top of this, almost like I'm standing one-footed on the ball. As much weight down as I can while staying relaxed. Okay, no point being tense the whole time. Try and disconnect from the pain. Try to make it as bearable as you can, but increase the pressure as much as you can. So I'm holding this. Now I can add the contract and relax. So contract the muscles up in the bottom of the foot. Relax. Contract. Relax. And when I'm relaxing my weight on to the ball here, okay? So it's horrible. I'm sure most people will be finding little areas that need a lot of work, okay? For most people, probably quite a few, especially if you don't keep on top of this stuff. Okay, so again, like I say, this should be nice, supple tissue. It should not be all jammed up tight. If it's jammed up tight, well, I'll show you in a wee while. But it's remembering the importance. Like I say, people don't understand the importance of your feet when it comes to exercise. Squatting, where does the stability come from? The foot. Where do we create the stability in? The foot. Okay, we drive those toes in. If this is all jammed up tight, you're going to struggle to create that arch in the foot, and we need that arch for stability. Okay? So again, I'm going side to side. You can see that I'm now moving, so I'm moving off that spot, trying to find new ones. And I know I'm going to find them. It's just a matter of woof, die there. So you can see that I've started here, side to side. This is me doing like a fast forward. And I get to here. Okay, so I know that's next spot's up here. So a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort on here now. So I'm going to get as much weight down on this as I can bear. Okay, but I must stay relaxed. Okay, and again, if you're just giving it 50%, you're only going to get 50% out of it. Okay, it needs to be you're going for this. If it's uncomfortable, just keep making it as uncomfortable as you can possibly bear. So feet, forgotten about, disregarded, abused daily. Okay, right, okay, I'm going to move on from that because again, we're trying to keep this short and sweet. But again, here's a top tip for you. Top tip for you runners as well. See this, the lacrosse ball. It's always worth having a few of them. Put one in your freezer, okay? Put one in your freezer shelf, keep it in there, it lives in there. Before you go running, after you come running, dig it out and do a very quick fast forwarded version of what we've just done there. For me personally, I get it. And I do give it the whole back to forward, but I do get something out of it because I'm putting as much weight down on there as I can, okay? I'm not just going, so before I run, I always try to break up that tissue a wee bit and just try to make it a wee bit supple, okay? Because again, if that's all up tight, we're not going to go into everything today, but if that's all tight under there, that's going to start leading to problems further up your legs, and we're starting to go into tendons, into the Achilles, up into the calves, etc., okay? It's going to create a lot of problems, and all start on the foot. So again, very easy to do. I mean, you can do this at home watching telly. You can even do it sat down. You get more weight on by standing up, so I would always recommend standing up. But again, if you have got problems with your feet, you're probably not even watching this video anyway, are you? Right, okay. So, next up, probably is a good thing I've got the scabby feet out now. So your hand. Look at your hand, everybody. We can mold our hand into shapes, can't we? So if I wanted to pick this ball up and this ball weighed 100 kilos, I wouldn't be able to just pick it up like that. I'd have to mold my hand around the shape of it, okay? Your foot should be able to do the same. So if you come just underneath your toes, so I've got my toes, if you grab just roughly underneath your toes at the ball of the foot, that should be able to move independently to the ankle joint. So I should be able to wobble that around, okay? And again, some of you might find that, yep, that's fine, it's moving okay, but then some of you might find there's zero movement whatsoever. So that's very important that we have that mobility. Why am I getting laughed at now? Are you laughing at me because you can't move that part of your feet? Right, okay, are you laughing at my scabby feet? So that should move, you can see that hopefully, that should move independently. So it's important that we get that back if you're missing it, again, because it's important. You'll always hear me saying you need to drive the toes into the ground, more specifically that big toe. We're trying to help create that arch and that balance in the foot, and it's important that that foot can still mold into shapes, okay? So one drill we're going to get into, and this is literally just a case of, this isn't a moving around drill, okay? This is on the spot, one spot, you're trying to get down and get as much weight down onto this as you can. So it's not going to feel like the one we just done. So all I want you to do is stand up again. And all I want you to do is jam this just in at the ball of the foot. So in at that soft area of tissue, again, it's not on the ball of the foot, it's just back of it. You can see if you just look at me. What you'll also notice is that the outside of my foot is on the ground. So I'll spin round and show you. So I've got the outside of my foot in contact with the ground, and I've got this ball wedged in. Okay, and you'll probably find for a lot of people, even just holding that spot with a bit of weight, there's a fair bit of discomfort. So let me show you again. I'm placing the ball here, right in here, okay? Not on the ball, not on the bone, just back of it. And as a result, what should happen, by keeping that outer part of my foot in contact with the ground, and by trying to wrap that foot around the ball, we're going to help start to open that up a little bit. So we're going to help the body, not to help the body, help the foot start to break that tissue up and help bring that movement back in. I don't know if you can even see my hands. Bring that movement back in, okay? So like this mold of the hand, that's what we're trying to do here with the ball. So get on it, get the position I'm in, and now all I'm trying to do is get down and apply as much force, as much wrapping that foot around the ball as I possibly can here. We're not rolling, it's a static hold, and it's us pushing down as much weight as we possibly can. So if you're rolling backwards and forwards in this ball, please stop doing it, and please pay attention to what we're trying to do here. So you'll probably find for most people, there is a little bit of discomfort in that area. Understand that I am trying to wrap my foot around this ball while trying to get as much force down on it as I possibly can. You must have the outside of that foot in contact with the ground, otherwise it doesn't work. So what's this forcing us to do is, again, get that movement back, creating that mold in the foot, okay? So hopefully you're with me here. Hopefully you are pushing down on this as hard as you can. You are trying to collapse around this ball as hard as you can, and we're only holding it for a couple of minutes on each side. Good. You can try moving it, but there's not much movement to move on, okay? There's not much range, because if you come over it too much, you're going to lose contact with the outer part of your foot on the ground. And again, I'm always conscious of these things, that someone somewhere has probably just stood on the ball and just chilling out with no force, which looks like I am now. We need to be consciously trying to create that pressure and that force round. Good, and then I want you to ease off. Okay, any questions on live, fire them at me now about how to do that if you weren't sure. I'm not going to move myself, I'm just going to let you see from the other angle now how it looks. So again, outer part of the foot is on the ground. You can see exactly where I'm going. It's just behind the ball of the foot, just behind where that big toe starts to connect in, okay? Still in the soft kind of tissue area, but then not too far back, okay? I want it just pretty much at the start of the ball of the foot. The outer part of my toes, the outer part of my foot is in contact with the ground. And now that I've got this position, so you'll have to play around to just get it right, but remember, it's not on the bone, it's just behind the ball of the foot, okay? So play around with the position. Then once you know you've got that ball wedged in there and that's a good position that you've got, downward force, wrap the toe, collapse the toes around. And again, what's that going to do? It's going to help create this, okay? So with my foot that's not on the ball, it's going to help us create that arch that a lot of people end up missing. So you'll see people squatting, and at the bottom of a squat, you'll see that happen, that inward rotation of the ankle, that horribleness, okay? That's because they're starting to get jammed up tight there. Again, there's multiple reasons for it as well. There's multiple drills we can do. We could turn this into a complete foot ankle overhaul that would take us the full hour, but this is us addressing the key points of plantar fasciitis. Okay, so push down on it. I'm still seeing a lot of fidgeting. There shouldn't be much fidgeting other than you trying to position your body better to get down on top of this thing. Okay, so again, remember what we're trying to do. I'm trying to wrap the foot, this area here, I'm trying to wrap it, I'm trying to create that molding ability of the toes. Good. 9:30 AM start, you forgot. I will not name and shame you on live. So we're starting at 9:30 AM now, okay? Because that's me officially back at work. Okay, so if you're late, don't worry. the class is nearly finished. But it'll be uploaded pretty soon because it's a short one. So keep going for it. We're going to go for 30 more seconds. Downward force, wrap around the ball. Let's get it done. So far we've done that plantar surface smash with the ball, okay? Working backwards and forwards from the heel to the toes. And relax. Okay, right. Walk around, let the blood flow back into that area. Okay, so again, it's about not just standing on the ball. By standing on the ball, I'm giving my body that ability, the foot the ability to learn and try and unjam and learn it to wrap round. Does that make sense now that everybody's watching me? So I'm not just standing on it aimlessly, I'm trying to create that. I'm trying to break this up here to get that movement back in the area. And hopefully, even if you did feel independent movement in there before, hopefully by giving it a wee wiggle round, grab it, hold it, don't be shy, and then give it a wobble, and it should hopefully feel like it's freed up a wee bit more just from doing that, okay? And again, that's going to help create stability. There's a lot of reasons why people struggle to create arches in the foot, but again, we need to be trying to create that downward force in the foot to create that balance for a good squat, but also running, etc. as well. So next up, while we're on the foot, final one we're going to work on is the toes. We've done this one before as well. Toes, again, if the foot gets forgotten about, the toes don't even get a moment of consideration here. So we're going to talk toes very quickly. Where toes get all jammed up tight, your toes should be able to move freely, okay? Where toes get more abuse than anything, okay? We get deformed, horrible toes. They get jammed into shoes that aren't specifically made for you. And they just end up getting a lot of abuse and restriction, okay? So if you're in tight shoes all day and those toes are just restricted, what's going to happen, okay? Pretty obvious, isn't it? We're going to lose a lot of mobility in them. So you should be able to put your finger in between each toe and get no pain, okay? I'm not going to teach you how to start ripping the toes apart and how to start breaking all that up today. We're going to keep it simple. So what I want you to do is stretch the toes out. Again, tightness in this area here on the forefoot. Again, quite common with a lot of people that like to do a lot of barefoot running, like myself. Okay, it's important to keep on top of this stuff. So all I want you to do is imagine we're almost in a lunge, so work with me here. I want you to try and make sure the toes are facing dead forward. Okay, so as you look down, they're facing dead forward. And all I want you to do is you're stretching out. See that one? So all I'm doing is I'm just trying to get that knee down, and then when I've got that far, I'm stretching out the toes. Get up on top of it, and it's as simple as that. I want you to try and get as much weight down onto them as you possibly can. It really is not rocket science. I don't know how more to explain it, so hopefully you're with me here on exactly what I'm trying to do. Now, as always, because it's a new one, I'll show you one more time. Get the foot, get it in front of you, almost like you're in a lunge position. Then drop the knee forward, drop the knee forward, drop the knee forward, and as a result, that's all getting stretched out. Now, if you are pretty tight, everybody, if you've got really tight toes, really tight around that area and you're struggling here, you might be up here, okay? You might be up here struggling to get that knee, and that's fine. You're trying to get the knee down, okay? But you hold it at the point you're getting a good stretch. Everybody else, get the weight down and push down. And even for people with pretty flexible toes, this can be uncomfortable, okay? So it's a case of like any other stretch. I'm trying to push down on it. I'm trying to take it further and further. I'm trying to relax here, okay? I'm seeing things happening on live. I've got no idea what these are doing because I most certainly didn't show you how to do that. I'm seeing people just kneeling on both knees. What are you doing? We need to do this stuff face to face. I don't think we do. I find it easier to keep my cool when we're doing it on this. Whereas if it was outside at boot camp, I'd probably be losing my voice by now. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm holding it. It's a static stretch here. Okay. So a lot of people when they're lunging, the amount of I can't lunge because my toes, I can't bend my toes. So this is the best one for you here. Okay. And not just that. What am I doing? You'll feel exactly where I'm stretching out. We're stretching out all this area also, aren't we? So I would like to think I've got a reasonable amount of flexibility here, but this is pretty uncomfortable. So if it's feeling pretty uncomfortable, oh my word, what is going on live? What, you should not be on both knees. If I'm seeing people like this, just kind of, this. No, one at a time. Right, I'm changing legs. For goodness sake. Right, I want you to watch me. If you've got no Scooby as to what we're doing here, watch me first now, okay? Watch me first now before you decide to do it wrong and keep doing it wrong. Right, I've got my foot as if I'm about to lunge. All I'm trying to do is flex my toes out, okay? So all I want you to do is get this knee, take it forward in line with your foot, and look what's happening. I'm just walking my body into a position. Look at the toes. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stretch the toes out. So then I've got the stretch. Now I'm just trying to position my body better. So I bring this leg through because it's allowing me now to get more weight on here. So now I'm trying to stay relaxed and then I'm pushing down to enhance that stretch out. So hopefully you're with me here. Now what you can do is go side to side with the stretch, but I would rather you just focus on it as a whole for now. Okay, so you can explore it a wee bit the way we normally do with stretches by going side to side. So hopefully you're getting a good stretch, or hopefully even it's highlighting some problem. Okay, because these are movements people don't even think about. But the amount of people that are getting problems nowadays with their feet, and their ankles, and their lower leg, but just completely disregard the foot. It's crazy. So again, this is more aimed around the three kind of main ones, mobilization techniques for not curing, okay? So that's not what this is about. This is not to cure your plantar fasciitis. It might, okay? It might just be a case of this tissue is all jammed up tight and our feet are all jammed up tight. But remember, that plantar fasciitis is just a term for pain in the bottom of your foot. There can be many reasons, okay? There can be many reasons why you're getting problems with it. So this might help relieve some pain. It might be the cause of your pain. So by doing this and unjamming it all, you might find it's a hell of a lot better. But for, like I said, for 90% of us on here, this is a case of prevention is better than cure. And hopefully, by working through these target mobility, you're starting to learn your own little problem areas. Okay, right, relax there, everybody. So I want you to stand up, walk around. How's that feeling? That is us. Job done. Believe it or not, I told you it was short and sharp. Those are your three drills, your three go-to drills. Plantar fasciitis, pain in the bottom of your foot. Start there. Start working on them. 2 minutes on each one. We spent a bit longer. 2 minutes on each one. Most important one I think most people will get the benefit out of, and it's again, if you're going to pick one out of all them to do, it's the plantar smash, okay? So again, smash what we do. We're smashing up the tissue. Getting on there, don't just, I'm using my hand as an example here, but don't just aimlessly roll about, okay? You can do that for a few just to get an idea, right? There's pain there, there's pain there, there's pain there. Right, I'm going to start at the back. I'm going to work my way from back to front. There's pain. Spend time on that pain. Make that pain better. Make it an improvement. You might not cure the pain in one session, but you make an improvement on one area before you move on to the next. And that's why just spend 2 minutes, bookmark it. Okay, next time, tonight, I'm going to get the ball back out when I'm watching the TV, Emmerdale, whatever you're into. Get it out and continue where you left off. Okay, now that is us. If there's one to pick, it's that one. But on the whole, everybody could benefit from a bit of that, okay? And we are spending a wee bit more time working on the feet and ankle area because I'm already seeing it after only 1 day back at work. The amount of people whose ankles and feet are ruining their squats, okay? I've got all sorts of things happening. I've got people rolling inwards. I've got people coming off. They've just clearly not been doing any of the mobility drills that we've been doing on live properly, which is also apparent. Anyway, let's not start a rant, that's unprofessional. Because you might not even do this face-to-face or anything face-to-face with us. But anyway, get your mobility work done, take it serious, and again, hopefully this one has actually benefited and reached the people it needs to reach. It's not going to be a one session fixes it. Keep on top of it. Prevention's better than cure, and hopefully more than anything, you're just starting to learn bits of your body that might need a bit more work. Okay?